Hey, this is Dave with Taboo Customs. This video today, we're working on our 2003 Grand Cherokee WJ. We've called the WJ. It's a Grand Cherokee we purchased for under $1,000. Had a boatload of problems. We fixed a bunch of stuff on it. Today is no different. Today we will be replacing the transmission crossmember in this. When you see it, you'll see why. All right, well, here's the transmission crossmember, and it is just falling apart. You can see there, I mean, all of this is just, yeah. So, don't think it's really safe, and that's the biggest reason that we're replacing it. We pulled one out of our parts Cherokee, so we got one down there. I'll get the camera down in a second. Yeah, we got one down there. Came out of a parts Cherokee. Not the greatest, but definitely 10 times better than what we've got. So we'll run through changing it out. Really, as long as all the bolts come out, pretty simple. You can kind of see it down there. We've got 4 bolts in the center for the transmission mounting. We've got 4 bolts on each side then holding the cross member up. You know, really not too bad. But again, as long as all of them come out clean, that's typically the biggest problem we have. As far as tools go as well, this is another one that's pretty easy. Really just need 15mm socket impact. Gonna need your transmission jack because you're gonna want to hold the transmission up, obviously, because you don't want to fall down. And essentially the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pull these 4 bolts out of the center that hold the transmission to the cross member. Now, a lot of these bolts, I find that the heads are rusted on them, so you're gonna have to work to get your socket on them. Make sure you get the socket all the way on there though, and use a 6-point socket because you don't want to strip them out. That would not be fun. You'll be cutting it out. Oh yeah, that's a shower of rust. Oh, great. Actually, that hole is like 10 times too big now. Oh yeah. I think we'll have to steal the bolts from the parts Cherokee too. Oh yeah. See, our issue we've got here, that bolt is half as thick as it's supposed to be there, about right under that washer. Not good. That one brought a lot of the cross member with it. Okay, so now that we got that up and we're covered in dirt, we've got our transmission jack. We got a good sized block of wood, basically running from corner to corner, make sure it's not gonna dent in the pan. We'll raise it up. I wanna get a little space, just a little space. There we go. Break it loose so I know there's no weight on that cross member there. Make sure it's locked in pretty good. Now we can start pulling the bolts on the side. Or not. %. We got 1 out of 4 on that side. Oh, these bolts are scrap. I'm gonna have to use all the bolts from the other one. If I stand under that, I'll just get another shower. Yeah, 2 out of 4 on that side, so that's a little better. We need a bigger impact. Oh, that one's what we're afraid of. Yeah, that one, problem is it got so thin there under the washer, it just popped. So we're gonna go ahead. I wanted to leave one in here, just not incredibly tight, but just enough to hold it so we can loosen the other side, and then we'll take it down in a more controlled manner. And that one broke too. One on each side. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the one off this side, because usually I like to hold the cross member to the left side, take the last bolt out. My right hand. That there. Oh my God, this thing is nasty. Filled with so much stuff. All right, straight to the scrap. All right, so you may have now been left with something like this. Typically these out here don't break off because they thread actually way up here. These though, the nut's like right above that plate, and so they rust and they'll thread, or they'll break. So what we're gonna try, first attempt here, is we're gonna take 7/16 nut, we're gonna put it over it. You can see we've kind of cleaned up the bolt already. Gonna put that up there and gonna weld that all around, get good amount of heat into it, basically get it red hot. Do be careful, because you do have some fuel lines here. You wanna be careful of, you don't wanna be welding on those probably. And hopefully that heat will cause that rust to kind of break its seal it's got, and we can put another impact on it, yank it out. I would say 75% of the time this works. If it breaks off, you could try it again. You know, we've even gone as far as on some things like that, if it breaks off flush, putting a washer over it, welding the washer to what we can, and then welding a nut on top of the washer. Or worst case scenario, you could drill it out, or, you know, it's up to you. You could, I mean, there's 4, we're 75% good. Honestly, I think it's safer than what we had. And the bolts we're gonna put back are probably a whole lot better than the 4 that were in it. So it's probably equal to 3 of them. You never know. So, but hey, that's up to you. I'm not telling you what to do there. We're gonna go ahead, try to get these pulled out, see if we can, so we can move on with this project. All right, you can see final, what it looks like. It was red hot at one point there. You do have to be careful. Of course, you can get a socket still on it. We may have to grind down a little bitty spot on it, but hopefully it should come out. All right, are we ready? Everybody cross their fingers. Oof. All right, there we go. This is probably gonna be way too hot to touch. There we go. All right, so we got them both out. Now we've got to get the WJ Crossmember in. I think it can go either way, looks like. I think they're pretty well symmetrical. We're gonna start with one of the outside bolts here. And, oh, I was wrong. It does have to go one way because this transmission is offset. Yeah. Running out of battery in my camera. or it's going to shut off on me. So now that we've got that, we're going to go ahead. Hopefully this is lined up pretty well. Still shouldn't have really moved, and it is, so throw these in. Now we'll go ahead, tighten these down. Here's the deal though. These bolts, even the ones I'm putting back in, I took out of the other Cherokee that were not nearly as bad, are still not great. I believe the torque spec on these is 50 foot-pounds. We're going to go as tight as we think they'll handle, which may not be necessarily 50 foot-pounds, but actually 50 foot-pounds isn't really a ton, but still you do have to be a little bit careful. If we had a little bit more time, we probably will here in the future, we'd go and replace these bolts because, like I said, they're there, but they're only maybe 75% there. But that's better than 40 or 50 because the other ones were, yeah, bad. Oh, and I've got to go because guys here to pick up a Jeep. Zip these in real quick. Well, there we go. We've got our new Crossmember in. Wasn't without its issues as usual. Now, if you are looking for a new Crossmember here for one of these, you can find them on Amazon. We'll put a link in the description if you're looking for that. Hopefully you also saw, since we broke off some bolts on this one, how that if you do run into that issue, how you could potentially get those bolts out. So thank you for watching. As always, a like or subscribe is greatly appreciated. And be sure to check out taboocustoms.com for rust repair kits, skid plates, a lot of other things for Jeeps as well. So